5 are not going to satisfy a serial killer, right? There would be no actual number. It would be until you got caught.
We are not like other shows.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to be rude because you know how I am. Wasn't a very pleasant looking woman. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but just saying.
She was not a high class lady of the night.
I know, it looked like terrible. Some shit that you did in Kitty Corral school. Like, what?
Fucking awful.
Of course, he knows where she's buried, and it wasn't long after that. Like, he's like, I'm digging this bitch up. I need her vulva.
And in 2003, Nancy filed for divorce and issued a restraining order.
You want to smoke or vape? Even vaping is not allowed in the facility. You have to go outside.
A whole new level of horrific.
There was much you could do to change it, to be honest.
Hello, welcome to the You Run Podcast True Crime. My name is Scott.
What? Are you waiting on me, Scott?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting on you.
It's fucking Heather, bitches. I'm back.
How have you been?
I have been super fantastic. It's so hard to say, like, how have I been? Have you not watched my fucking Instagram?
Yes, I have.
Babies. That's how I've been. Tons of babies. Baby pictures. Well, wait a minute. One baby, tons of baby pictures. We're doing great. Just recovering well, having fun, lots of titty feeding, there you go. That's what we're doing. He's on demand.
He's living his best life.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, what man doesn't want to have a tit right at their mouth at any time, right? It's just like, hey, here you go.
Awesome.
Night time.
And to be fair, that's the same for all guys. We all do that.
Exactly.
We play with boobies, then it's night time shortly after. Are you ready to swap some dirty diapers and some breastfeeding for some murder and nastiness?
I think so, yeah. Because we still watch true crime on a daily at this house. So, like, Campbell's already into it. Like, Deadly Women comes on, or Deadly Women. And he's like, you guys can't see me, but he's like, hyper focused on that TV. I was like, that's right, you know.
I can't tell you how happy I am to have you back. It was great that Lisa stepped in while you were gone. But yes. I'm pleased to have you back. And what a surprise for everyone, because nobody knew.
That's what we do, though. We weren't going to tell anybody because at first I was thinking, all right, maybe Elise or Mark knows, right? Because they're in our podcasting squad. And then I was like, oh, I don't think they know. They don't know anything.
I haven't told a soul.
Me neither.
The only person who knows is Lisa, because she was watching a Manson documentary with me, and she's like, oh, when are we recording this? I was like, you're not doing this one. You're out now.
Oh, God, I bet she's like, fuck that bitch.
No, she still watched all the documentary. She really likes Manson. Really likes Manson.
Yeah. It's a lot. So you guys need to go ahead and get ready. It's a lot.
Should we just dive in? Because there is a lot.
Splish splash, bitch. I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Regular listeners know this is an interactive show. You choose the cases we investigate, and you do that on the 5th of each month on our Instagram, which is @YouRunPodcast. You can hear your voice on the air by sending us an audio DM on Instagram or recording us a TikTok and tagging us without using music. If you use music, I can't use it. If, like me, you don't like the sound of your own voice and you've still got something to say, you can now email us, yourunpodcast@gmail.com, and whatever you send in, I'm going to get Heather to read on the air for you.
Yes, please let me. I'll read it in a British accent.
Oh, please do. That's amazing.
I got to practice.
Yeah. If you're unaware, you are listening to a true crime podcast. We'll be discussing murder and criminal activities. There 100% will be bad language from me and Heather. We also share. Yeah. You've had too much time where bad language has not been available. Now it is.
I'm cussing every day. Anyways.
We are unique, and we don't give this to you like a Wikipedia run through. We share our thoughts and how we feel as we go along. If you are easily offended, easily upset by anything surrounding murder, crimes, people's opinions, or anything like that, thank you very much for tuning in and giving us a listen tick, and see you later.
Yep. Bye.
If you do like to stick around and you do like true crime, we have a case and a half today. This case has been talked about for decades. A cult leader is a household name. Even if you don't follow true crime, you will know elements of this case from the hundreds of TV adaptations, references in movies, and just pop culture everywhere, really. I'm not going to give any more exposition. It's Charles Manson and the Manson Murders.
A wandering band of members of a so-called religious cult with a leader they call Jesus has had 3 of its followers arrested in the investigation of the murder of Sharon Tate and 6 others.
The family left the caves they'd been living in on the Spawn movie ranch in the early fall, after the Tate murders. Later, police raided the ranch and found stolen cars. The family set up another camp in the desert, near Death Valley. 5 members are now in jail on other charges in the desert town of Independence. The family's leader, Charles Manson, is jailed here. It is expected that he will be charged in the Tate murders. Susan Atkins, a member of Manson's family, was arrested in another Los Angeles murder and talked to a cellmate about the Tate killings.
According to the police, and they have in fact shown me some evidence which indicates that they have a reason to believe that she may have been involved in both those other episodes, at least to some extent. I can say this much, though, she has at no time ever actually herself physically killed any person.
Are you saying she may have been present, though?
The police evidence as revealed to me would indicate that she was.
The Manson family, or as it was known by its members, the family, was a commune of cult members run by Charles Manson. They were active in the 60s and 70s, and for the most part, they were a drug and sex cult, taking part in orgies and taking huge amounts of amphetamines and LSD. They had about 100 members, predominantly made up of middle-class girls looking to be part of like the hippie culture. The group over the years became convinced that Manson himself was actually the second coming of Jesus, and he was there to save them from an upcoming apocalyptic event, which was a race war between blacks and whites. It's crazy already. We've not even got started yet.
No.
In 1969, 3 members of the family Manson entered the house of actress Sharon Tate, killing her and 4 others. Members of the family were also involved in other murders, assaults, theft, and vandalism. Everyone knows this bit. This is nothing new to anyone who's got anything knowledge-wise on Manson. We're going to do this slightly different. So across this episode and extended cut, we're going to cover the Manson murders. We're going to look at the events that led to it. But we're also going to look into Manson himself, because he was an interesting guy. He had lots of issues, but he's led a very interesting life.
I'd say so.
We're going to jump straight in. Let's kick it off with the Manson murders. Let's start where it ended. On the night of August 8th, 1969, a high-ranking member of the Manson family, Tex Watson, took 3 female members, Susan Atkins, Linda Kasabian, and Patricia Krenwinkel, to 150 Cello Drive in LA. Tex was doing exactly what Manson told him. He was working straight under his instructions, and he was told by Manson to destroy everyone there and make it as gruesome as you can. The 3 girls were instructed to do whatever Tex told them, as if the orders had come from Manson himself. Now, there's a couple of theories as to why Manson chose the house. And the first one is that he wanted to do something that would shock the world. And that's kind of the most common known thought. I think it's because Manson fucked up. So this house was known to Manson, as it used to be the house of producer Terry Melcher, who was going to sign Manson to his record label and then didn't. I think this was a revenge attack, and Manson just didn't realize he was now renting the house out, and it just went horribly wrong. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it was, because the whole point was for him to take revenge. The guy didn't sign him. He wanted his music out, which it slaps a little bit. I'm just going to say, sorry. But in all honesty, yes, that's exactly what I think. I think that he was just like, hey, go to this address, because this is the dude that kind of fucked him over, so to speak. And then when they got there, it's like, we got to kill everybody, because what were they supposed to do anyway? Like, the people are there. These people are very mentally ill. Okay. And they just what they did was so. I don't like this case. I'm turning into Scott because I hate because of what we're going to get into here in a moment of one of the people. I hate it.
And there's really bad bits to that. Like they left that person till last, and it's horrific.
It's horrible. I don't even understand. Manson's stupid. He was ugly anyway. So what?
And he was stupid as well. We'll get into that later as well because he was not the brightest bulb in the box.
No.
The current occupants of the house, the property where Tex arrived at, was Sharon Tate, who was well known for her movies and Golden Globe nominations. Also marriage to Roman Polanski, who himself is a scumbag, and we don't need to talk about him. But these were two megastars at the time. These were household names. Everyone knew who these were. This is like Brad and Angelina level famous. Polanski was in London and he was making a movie, and Sharon was at home. She was 8.5 months pregnant and she had 4 friends over. She had Jay Sebrig, who was actually a former lover of hers, a friend of her husband's, and I'm going to pronounce this once and fuck it up, and then I'm going to refer to him by his surname only.
I could not. I tried to do like the Google, like you can listen to it on Google.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't say, don't ask me to say that shit.
It's, what'd you check? Frawoski.
Farowski. I can't even say that.
And his girlfriend, Abigail Fogler.
Okay.
Also in the house were William Garretson, who was their caretaker, and his friend, Stephen Perrin. Now,
he was the African-American guy, I believe. Yeah. Okay.
I gave a warning earlier. I'm going to give a warning again. What you're about to hear is very disturbing. You have been warned twice. If you stick around now, I don't want any complaints. Tex and the 3 girls arrived at the house just past midnight. Tex climbed a telephone pole near the entrance and cut the phone lines to the house, and they backed their car up to the bottom of the hill that led into the estate. They walked back up to the house, and they thought the gate might be electrified, so basically they jumped over an embankment to get in.
Yeah.
As they got in, headlights were coming out, and Tex basically told the girls to get out of the way and stay out of sight. And he flagged down the car. And this was Stephen Perrin in the car. And this was the caretaker's friend who'd been there for the evening. He was now going home. Tex pulled a gun on him. And Stephen begged him not to hurt him, said that he wouldn't say anything. Tex tried to stab him. And Stephen got his hand up, but he cut him so badly that he cut all of his tendons. And he cut so deep, he cut his wristwatch off as well.
Yeah.
Tex then shot him 4 times in the chest and stomach. Stephen didn't survive this attack. With the help of the girls, they then pushed the car further down the drive away from the house so it wouldn't be seen. How they didn't hear the gunshots, I'll never know. But
I don't know either.
No. Tex's neck cut into the screen in the window, and he told Linda to keep watch by the gate. So she went and stood down by the car. They removed the screen and they went into the house. Once inside, he led Susan and Patricia through the front door. So he got in and then he snuck round and let the other 2 girls in.
Yeah.
Tex got Susan to wake up Farowski, who was sleeping on the living room couch. I can't do his first name. When he opened his eyes, Tex kicked him in the head. And Farowski basically said, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And Tex replied, "I am the devil and I'm here to do the devil's business." And this line has been used a million times and rewritten and reworked. It was even used in The Devil's Rejects, Rob Zombie film, where it's I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work.
Yes.
Under the orders of Tex, Susan found the other 3 occupants of the house with Patricia's help and forced them into the living room. I've got a little bit of an issue with this. And I don't know, Heather, if 2 girls tried forcing you to go into a room, would you be going willingly?
No. Like that's I mean, it's not like funny, but like seriously, they're getting bitch slapped, bitten, hair pulled. The shit's gonna go down like some Jerry Springer shit. Like I'm not letting somebody just be like, now if it were my children at stake, like, and I had to do it, okay, but I'm still gonna fight. Like I'm still gonna like try to save my life.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's very strange. But that was the late 60s. Things are different.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if it was me, the only way you're getting me into the living room is if you're dragging my corpse there. because I'm definitely not walking there.
I mean, you got to knock me out first. So, like, you got to like subdue me. Then I have no choice but to go into like, that's it. I'm done. But like, peace, love, and fuck that shit. Because no,
no, they did. Tex tied Jay and Sharon together by their necks with a bit of rope that he'd brought, and he threw it over the beams in the living room. Jay screamed at Tex and the girls because they were being incredibly rough with Sharon, who was heavily pregnant.
Yep.
This got him a bullet. It didn't kill him, but he did get shot for this. Abigail was taken back to the guest bedroom to get her purse, and she gave them $70. Tex then stabbed her 7 times.
It's so unnecessary. Like, it's like the violence of it, like the violent nature of it was so unnecessary. And this is not even, like, it's sad that they all got killed, but like Tate being killed is...
Yeah. And
that's hard for me to deal with.
And it's drawn out over a long time as well. This isn't
They torture them.
Yeah.
They just played with them. I don't understand that.
Farowski's hands had been bound with the towel, and he managed to get out. And he was struggling with Susan, and she stabbed at his legs with a knife. He managed to get out onto the porch, but Tex caught him and struck him over the head with a gun multiple times. He then repeatedly stabbed and shot him twice. Linda had moved from her spot on the driveway. So this is the girl who was down with the car. And she come up and she said she heard someone coming. And this was in an attempt to try and stop them carrying on. Or that's what she claimed. She claimed she wanted them all to leave now. Inside the house, Abigail has also escaped from Patricia. And she's got into the bedroom area. And she's worked her way through into the pool. Between Tex and Abigail, they gained control of her and got her back down. They stabbed her 27 times.
Nope. You don't need to be stabbed 27 times. Like if you're going to kill someone, 1 or 2 one stab.
Yeah.
Typically does the job. But that's the whole brutality in this crime. And the reason why you give your disclaimers is because
it's
overkill. It's overkill. Yeah. It's beyond ridiculous.
Fromowski, turns out he is hard as fucking nails. He's been stabbed and shot, and he is still alive. And he's crawling away across the lawn where they've caught the other girl. He suffered 51 stab wounds and was struck 13 to 14 times in the head with the butt of the gun. He was hit so hard that it bent the barrel and broke off one side of the gun grip.
It's horrible.
It's horrific.
It's so gross.
In the house, we've now only got Sharon left, and she pleaded for her life. She basically said, "Look, let me give birth. After I've given birth, you can do whatever the fuck you like. Take me as a hostage. Just do whatever. Just save my child." Susan and Tex stabbed her 16 times, killing her. According to Susan, Manson told them to leave a sign, something witchy.
Yeah.
She wrote "pig" on the front door in blood. And this is in Tate's blood as well, Sharon Tate's blood. Now, it's said they'd done this also to try and clear another Manson follower who was on trial, been charged with murder. Just trying to convince the police that the culprit of that crime was still on the loose. Now, they do a second night of killings, but before they do that, we're going to go back to the summer of 69.
Okay.
Back in the summer of 69.
Rock and roll. No, but still, like, it's so fucked up, Scott. Like,
it's massively fucked up.
Not only did they kill Tate, I mean, they killed the baby because the mother is the life source for the baby. So, of course, they killed the baby. Like, I can't.
Look, we've said this before. I can understand like a crime of passion or even a crime of revenge, even a premeditated crime of revenge. I can understand.
Yeah. Me too.
But to be able to torture and murder a pregnant woman is another level of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't. Their whole cult thing is just insane to me to begin with because, first of all, cults, like, I don't know. It's hard to persuade me to do anything. So you're not going to get me.
And you're definitely not going to persuade me that Charles Manson is the second coming of Christ.
I wish y'all could see my face. Did y'all see what he looked like? He wasn't the first coming of shit.
The only thing he had in common with Jesus Christ is he had a goatee and long hair. That's as far as the similarities went.
And so did everybody else in the 60s.
This is true.
Right?
In the summer of 69, Manson and his cult were at Spar's Ranch, which we're going to talk about later. And they were attracting a lot of attention from the police, who suspected they were running like gangs out of there and doing loads of auto theft and things like that. In an attempt to raise money, they moved away to the desert, and Manson was encouraging drug dealing. And there was a botched drug scam that Tex and Manson were basically running. And it led them to confront and shoot a man named Bernard Crowe. Mm-hmm. Manson believed he'd killed Crowe. And he also believed Crowe was a member of the Black Panthers. Yeah. Manson was stupid because he wasn't a member of the Black Panthers and he survived the attack.
Well, yeah, he's a dumbass. And the whole whites versus blacks, like the whole, like that, I'm thinking there are other races and what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is white anyway. I'm going to let y'all white people know your ass ain't all the way white. So stop.
No, I've got a decent amount of Spanish in me.
I mean, I have it's like everybody's a mutt. Like, come on. That's the truth. You got a little bit of everything in you. Nobody, like, this is not fucking Christopher Columbus shit, okay? Like, it pisses me off when we're like, I'm white. Bitch, your skin's white. That's it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Despite Manson knowing that he hadn't killed him and knowing he wasn't a member of the Black Panthers, he was still convinced he was. And he was worried that they were going to come for revenge and he needed money. So he was pressuring the members of the family to go and get more money. During this time, someone had told him that a family acquaintance, a guy named Gary Hinman, had just inherited loads and loads of cash. Yeah. And Manson thought, well, this is great. We'll bring him into the family and then we'll convince him to invest his inheritance.
Yeah.
So Manson sent Susan, Bobby Bashuli, who was another member of the family, and Mary Brunner to Hinman's home on the 25th of July. Hinman told him that he didn't inherit any money. And Belushi beat him really badly. Despite the beating, he still said, I have no inheritance. You can keep punching all you want. I have no money. Manson showed up in person and swung a sword at his head, slicing his face and cutting part of his ear off. Who carries a fucking sword?
A Power Ranger.
Go, Manson Ranger.
Right? What the fuck? I don't know. Like, I was thinking that too. I was like, a sword? An actual, like, not a pocket knife.
No,
like
an actual sword.
A sword?
Yeah, a sword. I know.
Medieval times? I don't know. I don't know.
Manson directed Susan and Mary to stay behind to look after Hinman because he realised he'd cut him and kind of, I might get in trouble for that. Could you look after him? 2 days later and after a phone call from Manson, Bobby Hinman signed over the registrations to his cars and then fatally stabbed him twice. Wow. Just,
they still ain't getting no money. Like, that's
they got a couple of cars and Bobby killed Hinman. And he wrote on the wall in blood, political piggy. And this was done to try and blame the Black Panthers, who used to use piggy and political piggy as part of their slogans.
Yes.
Bobby was an idiot, and he was arrested on the 7th of August when he was asleep in one of Hinman's vehicles. Get this, it gets better. He was still wearing the same blood-stained clothes that he wore during the crime. And the murder weapon was sat in the footwell of the car he was sat in.
Yeah. Because they're stupid. Like, it's the drugs. It's the motive. There was no actual motive. It was like, you thought somebody had some money, right? It's like me going up to somebody and like, oh, I think you have money. Let me kill you because I want it. You don't even know. You just killed somebody for no reason.
No, and that policeman who arrested Bobby must have thought he'd won the lottery. You're in the dead man's car. You're covered in his blood, and there's the murder weapon sat by your feet, and you're asleep. This is the easiest arrest ever. Absolute idiots. Anyway, now we've tied up that loose end, let's go to night 2. Yes. So The 4 murders from night 1, plus Manson himself, or the 4 murderers, plus Manson himself, and additional followers, Leslie Van Houten and Clem Gorgon, went for a drive. Now, Manson was apparently displeased with what they had done the night before. He was disgusted that the victims managed to get out of the house and it wasn't kept contained.
Yeah.
This really annoys me. Like,
he didn't do anything. That's the thing. He's nothing but a big old pussy. Because he never did anything. And if you study cults and things like that, you'll notice that most of the cult leaders, they're big vaginas. They don't actually do anything. So they get all these vulnerable people and manipulate, brainwash, whatever, to do their dirty work, which is exactly what Manson did. Doesn't make him less guilty. It just, his little sheep went out. Yeah. There you go.
It's exactly that. But the second night, he goes with them. He told Linda to drive to the house on Waverly Drive in LA, located next to the door of the home where Manson used to, well, him and his family used to live next door to this house that they've gone to. The house belonged to a supermarket executive, Lino LaBianca, and his wife, Rosemary.
LaBianca.
Thank you. According to Susan and Linda, Manson disappeared up the driveway and returned to say that he'd tied up the LaBiancas. Now, this turns out to be bullshit because he went with Tex and Tex done everything. He done nothing. Well,
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's just this little bitch boy. Like that's who Tex was initially.
Yeah, 100%. So apparently they went up. Manson pointed out a sleeping man through the window and the two entered through an unlocked back door. Now, they claim that they roused LaBianca from sleeping on the couch at gunpoint and they basically bound his hands with a leather thong. Firstly, who owns a leather thong? Do you own a leather thong?
I had to hell no. I can't wear the ones I got now. I don't know what to say about that because I've never heard of one. I'm sure they have them, like people that are into
LA in the 60s sounds like a wild place.
Fine leather goods on their body. I'm
going to put money now. I bet Mark owns a leather thong.
He looked like he does.
Yeah.
I wish you could see my face. Look, you do, don't you?
and anyone who doesn't know who we're talking about, that's my co-host on Horror Movie Review, which is our other show.
Well, let me just say this, Mark. If you own one, I hope to God it's not white.
Oh,
it won't be for long.
Rosemary was brought into the living room from the bedroom, and they covered the couple's heads with pillowcases. They bound those in place with lamp cords, and Manson left. Patricia and Leslie entered the house. Tex moaned to Manson earlier that the first night they didn't have the right tools to deal with it. So this time they brought with them a chrome-plated bayonet.
I don't know, what is that? What is a bayonet?
That's the thing that you put, like the long spear thing that goes on the end of a gun during the Civil War.
Okay. I wasn't sure, I don't know that much. I'm not that intelligent when it comes to the Civil War, so I didn't know.
At what point did they go, I know what's a good weapon. We'll bring a Civil War bayonet with us. It's great.
I'm just like, you had a knife, a knife, or a gun, or something else, like a hammer or crowbar or something, right? No, they're being vicious anyway, so why not?
We'll use a bayonet and a sword instead.
No.
It's just bizarre. Tex sent the girls to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the bedroom where Rosemary had been returned. They put her back in the bedroom. While they went to the living room, they began stabbing Leno, who was the husband. They stabbed him with the bayonet and the first thrust went into his throat. Tex now heard a scuffle in the bedroom and he went in there to discover Rosemary, who's got her head covered in a bag, wrapped around her neck, swinging the lamp that's tied around her neck around the room to try and get the girls away. Good for her.
I mean, yeah, she did. She tried. She tried to do something.
Tex ended this really quickly, unfortunately. Tex wrestled her to the ground and stabbed her a total of 12 times. He then curved the word war into the guy's abdomen.
Okay.
I just don't get it. They returned back to the living room where they stabbed Leslie 16. Leslie stabbed 16 times Rosemary in her back and buttocks. At her trial, she claimed that it was fine because all of this happened when she was dead.
And that
doesn't make it any better.
Lord Jesus. Y'all need to date something.
Rosemary was stabbed 41 times in total.
They like stabbing, don't they?
They do. It's just massive overkill. Text cleaned off the bayonet and showered while Patricia wrote "Rise" and "Death to Pigs" on the walls and "Helter Skelter" on the refrigerator door in Rosemary's blood.
Can we be more original, please?
For good measure, she also basically went back to the husband and gave him 14 puncture wounds with a carving fork, which she left jutting out of his stomach. She also planted a steak knife in his throat.
This was just all like so unnecessary. I mean, first of all, the killings, let me make sure you guys understand where I'm coming from. The killing is totally unnecessary to begin with, but then you're just like, these people are dead and you're just still stabbing and you're still poking them and you're just like, you're humiliating them is what you're doing at this point. I mean, it is. You have to think about that. It's like, what the fuck? It's too much for me. This is a true crime case. I actually don't like, Manson can suck a dick. I don't,
And speaking of Manson, you'd expect him there to be there overseeing all of this and directing traffic effectively. No, he drove 3 other family members who left with him at the ranch and he dropped them back at the ranch. Manson then left he dropped them at a friend's house. He then drove to the ranch himself, leaving the LaBianca killers to hitchhike home.
I don't know.
I'll see you back at the ranch.
Yeah. I don't know if he thought he would get away, like, and obviously you guys know they get fucking caught. Duh. But it's like, I'm wondering if he thought like, oh, well, I didn't kill anybody, so I wouldn't get in trouble. But that's not how it works.
No, it's definitely not how it works.
You did all that. You orchestrated all this shit.
Yeah, it's all on you. So the 3 friends he dropped them off at an actor, Saladin Nanda's house, and they'd been instructed to kill him as well. Through some, just again, stupidity, they knocked on the wrong door and woke up the neighbour and then realised, actually, we can't kill this guy now because his neighbour's awake. Susan, though, done a shit on the stairwell on the way out.
Okay, did you ever see, I mean, I'm sure you did, obviously. You've seen the Manson women, like, well, the main ones that were in the, they ugly too. It was just, they so ugly. People in 69, y'all were not fine. No, you were not. Hunty, I don't know. Maybe somebody was fine in 69, but it wasn't Manson. He looked like he didn't wash his ass. He looked like he didn't wash shit on him. And those women, barf.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, nasty.
Yeah, they're definitely they're not my type at all.
No.
Take out the homicidal killer factor, and they're still not. No,
no.
Unlike most investigations we've covered, the police in this had literally nothing to work with, and honestly, just got lucky. It was through more luck than judgment. So Manson and many of the family members were arrested on auto theft charges. They weren't linked to any of the crimes that we've just discussed, apart from Susan and Bobby. They were in prison charged with the murder of Gary Hinman. And it was them that caused the issues. In fact, it was Susan who caused the issues as she gloated to her cellmate that she killed Sharon Tate. The inmate, I'm guessing, was a fan of Sharon Tate and reported it to the officers.
I mean, I feel like they would report it anyways. Because that's the thing in jail. Like, if you are a snitch, right? Snitches get stitches. But in this case, it's like you snitch and you might get a little time off if you're sentenced. Like, you might get, like, I don't know, you can get, like, rewarded for it in a way.
Yeah.
This woman's stupid telling people, why the fuck you shut the fuck up? Why are you telling everybody?
And it was that simple line that kind of led to the entire collapse of the Manson family and to their trials for murder. As we said before, we don't cover trials, and this one's no different. I'm going to give you the highlights because there are a few highlights that we just can't skip over. So first off, Manson defended himself. And we've already
y'all saw how it ended for Bundy.
Yeah, and Manson is not even a patch on how clever Ted Bundy is.
Ted Bundy was kind of stupid too, but like low-key, Manson is remedial at best.
Yeah.
I said what I said, but he should have not.
No.
Do not.
He really shouldn't have.
No.
He turned up with an X carved into his head, which was mirrored by Susan, Leslie, and Patricia, who were his co-defendants.
Y'all, if y'all could see, I'm going to shit my pants, like just like my baby does. Like, for real. The stupid, Scott. Look.
It gets worse. So members of the Manson family camped outside the courthouse and held a vigil on the street corner. Because they were excluded from the courtroom for being disrupted, so they were kicked out of the courtroom. So then they just went outside and done like I don't know.
You can see it. You can see like news clips and footage on all this crap too. It's stupid.
Yeah. Other members of the Manson family also done the stupid carve of the cross in their forehead as well.
Yeah.
On the day they were convicted, some of them wore saffron robes to the trial, saying if Manson was convicted, they would immolate themselves, which is something that nuns used to do, or monks used to do in Vietnam, where they would set themselves on fire to protest the war.
Okay, but that's different. We ain't doing this. I ain't setting my ass on fire for no remedial like that. No, thank you. Bye.
When Manson realised that it was all going horribly wrong for him, he tried to attack the judge with the jury in the room.
Stupid.
He's so stupid. So he first threatened him. He then jumped over the lawyer's table with a sharpened pencil on the way to the judge, where he was tackled to the ground. He screamed, "In the name of Christian justice, someone should cut your head off."
Okay.
And all the female members of the Manson family started chanting in Latin.
I don't think Jesus said that, but anyway, this is my opinion. Okay, bye.
The judge, who was a guy called Older, he started wearing a pistol, which was a .32 caliber revolver, to the courtroom after this incident, and told Manson clearly if he jumped it again, he would shoot him himself.
Y'all, court was wild. It was wild in 69. That is a whole new meaning to the number 69. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's wild. Like, you could jump over the court. Like, jump over the tables and like bring guns and shit. Like, what is it?
Could you imagine a judge today going, "Well, you tried to get me yesterday, so I've brought my 32 caliber revolver with me.
And courts have like,
if you jump that desk again, I'm putting you down." It just wouldn't happen.
No, because you got to go through like metal detectors and shit now. Like if you go to the courthouse and wherever they have court, insane.
To cut a super long trial, and it was a very long trial, incredibly short, they were found guilty and all sentenced to death, including Tex.
Yep.
All of this stemmed from the formation of the Manson family, and it's kind of where we're going next. So the family began after Manson came out of prison in 1967.
Yeah.
So he'd been serving time for running a couple of girls in like a mini prostitution ring, but that's for extended cut. We'll talk about that next time. Manson moved from Berkeley to LA, which should have been a parole violation, but his parole officer was just, I don't know if he was corrupt or what it was. So his probation officer was a guy called Roger Smith, who agreed for him to move. And until the spring of 68, Roger worked for Haight-Ashbury Free Medical Clinic, which is the HAFMC, which Manson and the family went to quite a lot. And they were there because they were under a medical study that's reportedly funded by the CIA. So they were there to take LSD and methamphetamine to see what it would do to normal people.
Yeah, I don't need to be doing meth. That's what we call it. Like in the States, like no one really says methamphetamine, obviously. This is like meth. And like there's a meth issue in the state that I live in. That's awful. But like it's for real. It's an epidemic. Is that right?
Yeah.
I have mommy brain, so I forget shit in words. But it is a real thing. And like y'all don't be fucking with meth. Y'all don't do that. Don't.
But this was a medical trial that people could sign up to. You could sign up. You could sign up to have LSD and meth.
Okay, I get the LSD part because, like, that was, they'd be tripping and stuff. But God, fuck, I'm glad I wasn't born in the 60s. Like, fuck that shit.
The patients of the clinic sort of all got involved in this, and most of the people there were Manson and his female followers, who came to see the parole officer, Roger Smith, regularly. Manson received permission from Roger Smith to move from Berkeley to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
He took LSD frequently at this time as well. David Smith, who'd studied the effects of LSD and amphetamines in rodents, wrote that Manson's personality during this time was the most abrupt change he had observed in his entire professional career.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs are
that's
bad.
what it does. It alters your, it alters your brain chemistry. And, like, I get it. I guess if you did it, like, one time, right? Like, you did LSD once, like, you'll probably be okay. Maybe. I don't know. I've never done it.
But it might kill you.
It could kill you. So you're definitely not okay. You're pretty dead. But, like, any drugs, just don't do them. That's my PSA. Hugs, not drugs, motherfuckers.
I like that. I like that a lot. During this time, Manson also read a book. I'm guessing it's the only one he ever read in his life. He read Stranger in a Strange Land, which is a science fiction novel. Inspired by free love philosophy that he learned in that sort of time, he began preaching his own philosophy, which was a mixture of what he read in this book, the Bible, Scientology, and the Beatles.
No, Tom Cruise wasn't. Was Tom Cruise there?
No, Tom Cruise wasn't there.
He crazy as fuck, Scott. I'm just not throwing that in there, but, like, he really crazy. Y'all, he crazy, and he has 3 front teeth. I need y'all to understand.
I just how could you build preachings around the Beatles, Scientology, free love, and the Bible? It just doesn't work. Oh, why you're taking copious amounts of LSD?
I don't know any of this. I don't do drugs.
But
I'm drinking water.
Manson managed to get big crowds of listeners to come and listen to him. They targeted individuals for manipulation who were social outcasts or runaway girls who wanted to be in that sort of hippie environment. And what they used to do is they used to use LSD and strange sex games to kind of lure everyone in.
They manipulated them. I mean, if you could do more stuff if you were under the influence of those drugs. They would make you have that kind of free lifestyle where you were like, oh, okay, because you'd have to be on drugs to let Manson touch you.
Yeah. Something Tex said is he said that Manson wanted them to totally submit to his will through the use of LSD and unconventional sex practice. This would turn them into empty vessels that would accept anything he poured.
That's gross. No. Yuck. Like, just keep your virginity to yourself. Don't be giving it to Manson. Yuck.
It's just so bizarre.
It's just weird.
Manson family member Paul Watkins testified that Manson would encourage group LSD trips, but Manson would take a much lower dose so he could basically stay alert.
So he could control the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. By the end of this study in 1968, Manson had attracted 20 or so followers that were kind of all under the supervision of his parole officer.
Mm-hmm.
The parole officer's the one that, like, you're not meant to be letting them do this shit, and you're kind of encouraging and egging them on. I just don't get it.
Well, I feel like there in that time frame, like in the late 60s, like that, like, not saying that they could do drugs, like it was totally fine, but it sort of was fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't so, like, punishable or something. It's almost like it was the free love and peace and hump but I don't know the taglines, you guys. But you know what I'm saying? It wasn't as frowned upon. Like, you can't be getting away with that shit now. Well, I guess you could. There's people that still do it. I'm sure.
Yeah, we've got a hippie commune in the UK where they live down in caves on one of the coasts of the UK.
You been down there?
I haven't. No.
Don't.
Now, religious cult leaders need somewhere to crash, to preach, to fuck, and to take LSD. That's kind of what a cult leader needs. What better place than the home of one of the Beach Boys? I shit you not. The home of one of the Beach Boys.
I can't. Stop it. They're so pure. I thought they were. They're not.
So
anyway,
Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys, that's the actual Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
isn't
the real
he the
ones.
lead singer, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think so.
So he picked up Patricia and another follower, Ella Jo Bailey, when they were hitchhiking in late spring of '68. They were under the influence of alcohol and LSD, and he took them back to his house at Pacific Palisades. Sounds very nice. The following morning, when he got home from a night recording session, he was greeted by Manson in the driveway. He was worried Manson was going to hurt him, but Manson said, no, I'm not, and apparently kissed his feet. Inside the house were around 12 women and a lot of narcotics. Now, Dennis Wilson was cool with this when he got back to his house. He's like, well, there's 12 girls knocking around. There's loads of LSD and drugs. It's the 60s. Hey, live and let live.
I bet he said, I wish they all could be California girls. Anyways. Lame.
Over the next few months, the number of women doubled in the house. And Dennis covered all of their costs of his unwanted house guests, which amounted to $100,000.
Bitch.
Get this, including a large medical bill for their treatment of gonorrhea.
That's gross. Well, you know that they were spreading that like peanut butter. I mean, like, come on, they didn't have a stand on safe sex then, like,
no,
because it was free love, right? So you just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also cost him an extra £21,000 or $21,000 as they destroyed one of his uninsured cars, which they borrowed.
This is so dumb. Like, it's just.
The best bit is, so Dennis would sing, talk with Manson. They treated the women as servants. Dennis paid for studio time. He recorded songs. He performed with Manson. He introduced Manson into the entertainment business. This was Manson's gateway in. So he introduced him into various different record producers, one of which being Rudy, which was basically Rudy owned the house that Sharon Tate lived in. He rented it out to Sharon Tate and her husband. Wilson moved out of this rented property, or Dennis Wilson moved out when his lease expired, and the landlord kicked the family out, and rightly so. You imagine being a landlord and turning up after their mess.
I wouldn't. I just burned the house down because there's a bunch of gonorrhea in the house. It's everywhere.
Burn it down and start again.
I ain't messing with that.
Being homeless, they all looked to Manson to provide them a new home. And he found one. He moved them to, I can't pronounce this. Is it Span Ranch?
Spawn.
Spawn
like
Ranch.
like kind of like Spawn, depending on how you pronounce like the H or whatever in it, like I've heard it be pronounced like Spawn, almost like SPAWN, but Spawn Ranch.
Spawn Ranch. So they moved there in August of '68. It had been a television and movie set which they used for westerns. So this is like a Wild West town in the middle of fucking nowhere. The ranch basically made money from selling horseback rides, and female members done chores around the ranch. They occasionally had sex on Manson's orders with the nearly blind 80-year-old owner, George Spawn. They also acted as seeing guides for him and would take him into town and help him do shopping and stuff like that. And for these services, he let the Manson family stay there for free.
I bet he did.
Fair play to him. He's 80. He's 80. He's got these... He's done all right there. He's done a good deal.
I wish I was blind and deaf.
So the owner, Charles Watson, was a small-town Texan who quit college and moved to California and quickly... Charles Watson is a guy... This is Tex. So he moved to California and joined the ranch. This is kind of where he joined into the family. So he jumped in.
He's not from Texas like I am. Yeah, according to some people, I live in Texas, apparently. So no, that's not true.
No, it's not. But Tex was. His name's Charles Watson, and this is when he moved to the family. And he was called Tex because he come from Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, y'all don't start calling me Tex.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Damn it.
Before we kind of wrap up on this first part of this, I want to talk about his music.
Slaps y'all, kind of like I don't want to be a fan because I'm not. Let me just tell you something. It's not like I want to like listen to it on regular, but it's surprisingly, shockingly not that bad. And it's kind of scary that you're like, okay, well, this guy like, orchestrated all these terrible murders and these innocent people were killed. But then it's like, really, he just wanted to pop out some bankers. Like that's all he wanted to do was be a musician and be famous.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
He done okay. So he recorded loads of tracks which are still unreleased that he done when he was living with the Beach Boy. The Beach Boy recorded a cover of one of his songs. So Manson's song was called "Cease to Exist," and they retitled it "Never Learn Not to Love," and they released it on a B-side of their album "Bluebirds Over the Mountain." Manson didn't contribute to the recording, but he did write it and did compose the music for it.
Yeah.
In 1968, Phil Kaufman met Manson in prison. If you know a bit of music history, Phil Kaufman used to be the tour manager and the driver for the Rolling Stones. So this guy was in the business.
Yes.
When Manson was in prison, Kaufman said, I could probably get your music out. And Manson was like, I really desperately want you to do this.
Yes.
No established record company wanted anything to do with this, funnily enough. So Kaufman raised $3,000 of his own money and pressed 2,000 copies of an album entitled Lie, The Love and Terror Cult. Now, it had recordings made from 67 to 69, and it had 13 tracks on it. It included Cease to Exist, which is the one the Beach Boys covered, and a couple of other tracks as well. Each of the original 2,000 copies came with a poster that was signed by Manson and other convicted family members, and also prisoners supporting the Manson family.
Yeah.
I bet these are worth an absolute fortune now.
All that kind of stuff is like, it's crazy. I mean, we've talked about this in previous cases where memorabilia was sold or whatever, but I'm not, I mean, I love true crime. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't actually want any of his shit.
No, I don't. I think this is probably one of the few things that I would accept having.
Well, this is a little bit different. This isn't like he didn't use this to like murder someone. It wasn't like a significance of the murder. This is just, my thing is like, had he been able to get his music out, like none of this would have probably ever happened.
Yeah, if that guy had signed him, who's to say Manson wouldn't have been like, I don't know. I
don't know if he would have went that violent route with the cult. He probably still would have done the weird hippie cult, like whatever. That's fine. But like not going so far as to murdering people.
Yeah, and tonight supporting the Beach Boys, Charles Manson and the Manson family. It could have gone that way. That just sounds weird. Strangely enough, the album flopped when they released it. No one bought it. They sold like 500 copies. It eventually got put out to a big distributor, and his music is still on sale today. Available on Spotify, Apple Music, and even on Instagram for Reels and for Stories.
It's crazy. That is nuts.
It's like when I do things like when I do the stories on Instagram, I try to look for music that's relevant. And I typed in Charles Manson, thinking someone's definitely sung a song about Charles Manson.
Yeah.
And then I found like the entirety of Charles Manson's back catalogue. And when I started listening, I'm like, yeah, fuck. He's actually all right.
Maybe they should have given him a chance. Like maybe I've heard worse artists. Let me just say.
Yeah.
And they have albums out. So
yeah,
there you go.
Could have gone very different.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have done. It probably would have still ended up a shit show, whether he got signed or not.
I think so. I just am saying that because that was like his focus and his dream, that maybe he wouldn't have gone so deep into harming people. Like, I mean, he could have done all the gonorrhea sex shit you want to do. You go ahead. All right. Dennis going to get that bill. But my thing is like, I'm not sure that the murders would have happened because honestly, I'm not defending Manson by any means.
No.
But I don't really think that he like necessarily intended to murder. obviously he did not actually do the murdering, but it's just like this weird power trip. And I think it all has to do with his childhood. We'll talk about that in extended cut, of course. But I think that that's why, like, he's got like a superiority complex or something like that. I can't talk. But anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, he wanted to be able to control. And when you don't have control, you make bad decisions sometimes because you can't figure out what's going on in that situation. And I think that's what happened. And that's why he had minions do his work.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want to be powerful. And that was his problem. He wanted to be famous. And he got famous.
Yeah, he did. And the thing is, that was one of his biggest defenses, wasn't it? I didn't actually do anything, Your Honor.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he didn't think he was going to get like in very much trouble, I'd say. But it's like,
no, because it
doesn't matter.
It's different in the States to here. So if like 4 people are together and a murder is committed, they're kind of all held accountable together, aren't they? It's kind of guilt by association.
Let's say like me, you, Mark, and Elise, and like, we'll just say me. Like, I done shot somebody. Y'all standing there, you're my accomplices, basically. Like if you don't do anything about it, like if you're like, I'm not saying anything, you basically are like lying.
Yeah, we get tried for murder too.
Exactly. So you'll get off way easier because you did not pull the trigger. But yeah, you're still going to get in trouble. So pick your friends wisely.
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen here in the UK.
That's crazy.
So same situation here in the UK. If you shoot someone and we all stand and watch, we all go to the police station and go, we didn't do anything. We just saw her do it. And the police go, oh, okay. Oh, the CCTV. Oh, yeah, it was just her. You did just stand there. You can all go home. You
would think that's how to me, honestly, that's how it should be. Like if those people actually didn't know that said person was, I'm going to shoot this person. It's not your fault. Those other people should not be punished because, I mean, yeah, they picked a bad friend, but they shouldn't be punished in the sense of that. So
no.
Yeah, the states are stupid. It's stupid here.
Don't forget you can support us in loads of ways. The easiest way is to give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. It makes a huge difference to the show. We are still number 1 on Samsung Podcasts. And if that hasn't changed when this episode releases, that now marks 12 months.
Look at us.
Number 1 on Samsung Podcasts. Thank you so much.
Look at us. I say, look at us. Well, I ain't even been here. Y'all know I've been doing other shit. And we still number 1. I ain't even got to be here.
Pretty tight. Provided it doesn't change between us recording and it coming out. We've done a whole year.
I hope not. I hope that we're still doing good. Like with my return episode, I'm excited. I'm getting back into the hang of it already. My pits are still hot, y'all. That didn't change. They're still hot. I'm burning up. That's postpartum.
If you would like to support us and wear something as a badge of honor, you can get loads of true crime goodies at yourunpodcast.com. Click where it says shop. Or finally, you can support our show sponsor because we have a show sponsor now.
We do.
Yeah, we're partnered with Dubby Energy, who give you an energy really good energy drink that tastes really nice and is better than the canned shit you get. It's sugar-free, filler-free, colour-free, and it doesn't give you the jitters. And I can testify to that. I drink a lot of energy drinks.
I know you do.
This is exactly what I was drinking before, but I don't feel like a bag of shit the following day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because most of those energy drinks are like actual arsenic. Like they're horrible, and they're like lime green and preservatives, fillers, all kinds of just bad stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one I thought was really weird. Like it comes in a powder. I put the powder in the pot. I mixed it all together, and it was clear like water. I was like, okay. And then I drank it. I was like, actually, it tastes pretty good. And you can get 10% off with our code, which is YouRun10. And all you need to do is go to their website, which is Dubby, DUBBY.GG. There you go.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys go get you some energy. Get you some free range energy because that's sort of like, it's like organic. I say organic. That's what it is.
Free range energy because at the moment you can't get free range eggs for shit.
Let me tell y'all something. Hold on. We got to talk about this real quick. I went to buy some eggs at the store and I'm like, bitch, I ain't rich. We ain't eating eggs in this house that much because when I saw the price, I was like, fuck them chickens.
Yeah.
Like, fuck them chickens for real.
It's the same
I don't
here.
like eggs that much anyway. So it's not a big, well, I bake a lot. Like I've been baking tons of cookies and cakes and shit like that. So I'm like, I have to have eggs. And I'm like, bitch, I got to carry him like a baby out of the store. I'm scared.
Yeah, it's like
ridiculous.
that here. You need to remortgage to go and buy 12 eggs. It's a joke.
It's stupid. I don't really know what the reasoning is behind that. My mom actually has chickens. I don't want her chicken eggs though, because those chickens look suspicious. And I'm like, I don't want y'all's eggs. Bye.
I don't
just
trust
go to the
you.
store. I don't trust them fucking chickens. They peck and like that. That's what they do. Y'all can't see that, but they chase you. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of having any kind of
Nah.
poultry as a pet, even if it can give me eggs.
I don't have any pets right now. My house is a pet-free zone because having the baby and my daughter moved out and she took the cats with her.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, you've
We're
replaced pet with baby that needs
It's much
infinitely
better.
more care.
I don't care.
And you can't teach them to use a litter tray either.
They got the diaper. They go shit in the pot when they get older. I don't care. I love it. I love some babies.
We are going to be back with you and with Manson on the 15th of the month for what is going to be probably an extended cut because we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to go through a bit of his upbringing, his general life before his conviction, and a bit of what went on in prison. We're also going to bring you all the weird and wonderful shit, and there is a lot of weird and wonderful shit in this case. We're also going to tell you where you can go and watch movies, TV shows, read books. There is so much.
There's a ton of stuff. It's like,
I mean,
you can literally Google it. It's so much stuff to watch on him.
Yeah, I mean, even down to like one of the Conjuring films has got like Manson hints in it as well.
It's Annabelle.
It's Annabelle,
actually.
Yeah.
It's Annabelle. It's actually the only one, in my opinion, not the Conjuring franchise, but like with the Annabelles, it's the only one that I like because it's actually pretty creepy. Because it's like home invasion stuff. So that's how it starts out. And you're like, this is pretty scary. And it gets a little silly after that, but it's like the only one that's actually legitimately scary to me at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning it is. And then after that, it goes to just creepy doll in the corner, just staring at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been wonderful to welcome you back.
I know. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening to us. And I don't have to sign us off anymore.
Whatever.
It's no longer my job. You're back.
You do on the other show.
Yeah, but
does Mark do that too? Well, I mean, I listen all the time, but I'd be forgetting.
Mark kind of half does it now.
I know. I'm sick of him. He was doing the movie quotes, and I was so excited, and then it's just like that was it. I just signed you off. I'm like, Mark, bring back the movie quotes. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, we've got we're doing Guess the Year now. So he still does his movie quote, but he does it earlier in the episode. I need to. Should I find him something else to do to sign us off?
I mean, I know I typically sing, and I know that's kind of what this might be leading into, but I'm going to go ahead and mess it up a little bit for the ending. That I do have a song, I do, but you guys cannot listen to it until you listen to Extended Cut, which won't be out till May 15th. So sorry, guys, because I actually wrote this song out, and it's like, okay,
is it a cover of a Manson and Beach Boys track?
It has more to do with the Beach Boys, but it's fun. It's not the full song, obviously, but it's funny. It's great.
Okay.
And it promotes us. So anyways, you guys, y'all not getting any singing from me. Okay. And Mark, just keep putting out the movie quotes, I guess. I like the movie quotes. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like it because I like to try to guess them whenever he does them. I'm like, what is that? But then I can't understand him sometimes. We had this discussion that like, I'm like, talk with your mouth open, like, ah. And sometimes he's mumbly. He knows because we were talking about the different parts of the UK and like, you sound one way. Mark sounds a different way. And so I'm like, Mumbledore. That's exactly.
Mumbledore.
That's the way I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but like, I get it. I feel it.
That is now his new nickname, Albus Mumbledore.
Yeah. Since mine's like Texas Twilight.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, like, I ain't even going to try to lie. Like, the first one ain't that bad. It's not that bad. The rest of them, but the first one, it's not that bad. You need to watch it.
You need to listen to Carrie as well. Our episode that comes out
I
next.
will be.
So on that,
I listen to everything.
On that, we give Elise a new nickname too. So we've all got nicknames now, apart from me, as you've just nicknamed Mark.
I hope it's okay. It won't be the same as the way I call her my Kate Winslet. She literally looks like Kate Winslet and Adele had a baby.
Yeah, it's
mixed together.
Yeah, no, it's not. Me and Mark come up with it. It's definitely not that nice.
Oh, God.
Right, Heather, say goodbye for us.
Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you definitely enjoyed my return. And I don't want to sing because you guys have to wait and listen to Extended Cut May 15th, right, Scott?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, he's probably tired of my shit already. I can't remember nothing. But anyways, guys, keep it spooky and catch you next time. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
5 are not going to satisfy a serial killer, right? There would be no actual number. It would be until you got caught.
We are not like other shows.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to be rude because you know how I am. Wasn't a very pleasant looking woman. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but just saying.
She was not a high class lady of the night.
I know, it looked like some shit that you did in Kitty Corral school. Like, what?
It's fucking awful.
Of course, he knows where she's buried, and it wasn't long after that. Like, he's like, I'm digging this bitch up. I need her vulva.
And in 2003, Nancy filed for divorce and issued a restraining order.
If you want to smoke or vape, even vaping is not allowed in the facility. You have to go outside.
A whole new level of horrific.
There was much you could do to change it, to be honest.